to the branch in the middle of the road. I guess it's true what they say, that you're never too small to make a big difference, because you were just one fallen tree branch and you changed my life forever. You were a decent-sized branch, not too heavy to lift. You were long and bent, laying haphazardly across my path, and you were waiting just beyond the hill for me to come along. Now I'm sure that you didn't mean to trip me up. You'd had your own accident that left you stranded from your tree branch brothers and sisters. You landed where you landed, and that wasn't your fault. It wasn't anybody's fault. Too bad you ended up right across my lane. So my reflexes weren't quick enough, and we ended up in a high-speed tussle. You, me, and an innocent third party. Thank goodness Cam only came out with a few scratches. You and I, however, well, we broke some limbs. And then I got loaded into the back of a pickup truck and we parted ways. It was the last I ever saw of you, but I am certain that I will never forget you. As soon as we left you, Cam and I were dropped off at the local hospital. An x-ray, some double-checking, and a phone call confirmed that I had some broken pieces. Cam and I readied ourselves for a transfer to a big, private hospital in nearby Chiang Mai. Which brings us to this moment. Cam, say hi! Hi from an ambulance and hi! Nearby, of course, is a relative term. In this case, it means 3 hours on a windy mountain road, bracing against the stretcher around every corner to avoid moving a broken knee. Almost there. We got checked into the new hospital, and while they re-cleaned Cam's road rash, I was whisked away for a CT scan, 2 x-rays, a tetanus shot, my first rabies shot, and then returned to the ER for a full re-cleaning of my road rash.
What else here?
I know, right?
It's like the nicest ER ever.
Yeah. Whee! We're the only ones at the ER.
I like it here. It's nicer than a hostel.
Yeah. All in all, we settled up for the night in our private hospital room around midnight, a mere 11 hours post-accident. Because of the late hour, Cam actually slept here, in my sitting area. The following days were spent as follows. Struggling to eat the surprisingly delicious hospital food when I had no appetite, binge-watching episodes of 13 Reasons Why with Cam every night, and a lot of sitting in my hospital bed reading, sleeping, and staring at the wall. On the 21st, I got given my brace and crutches, which meant I could finally get out of bed. And on the 22nd, I even left my room and went down the hall. Now, I have to pause to take a moment to give a huge shout out to this kid right here. This amazing guy put his whole trip on hold to come with me to Chiang Mai, and not only that, visit me every day in the hospital and keep me company, even after I got him into a motorcycle accident after knowing him for only 4 days. How's that chocolate cake? There, now you're in frame with it. Hey, 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 hey.
We should put it like all.
Thanks, Vince. It's delicious. A true hero. Here he is, heading back out on his adventures because my mom finally made it from Canada. And then it was time to go home.
Ready to go? Oh yeah, packed all the stuff. See if we can transport Miss Rianne and all the goods.
First, I injected myself with some blood thinners to avoid death by blood clot.
Here she comes. Oh. Landscape? Yeah. Oh. Here we go, started a long journey.
And then we were off. an ambulance ride to the airport, and then first class seat to Seoul, South Korea. I should mention that with my leg immobilized, I couldn't fit into economy seats, so all the way home, my travel insurance had to buy first class tickets for my mom and I. This is a good reminder to everyone that you should always buy travel insurance. Anyways, here's my mom and I goofing off with all the fun stuff in first class. Smile, Mom. Have you ever flown business class before?
Not like this. Not since they've instigated Actually, let me get the whole little pod look here. How do you do the old?
Next was an 11-hour layover in Seoul. Very boring. Just before we boarded our next flight, I had to inject some more blood thinners because, again, nobody likes blood clots. This flight was the coolest ever. There was delicious food, which I could barely stomach, but I did have an ice cream sundae on a plane. Crazy, I know. Finally, after a slightly delayed flight in Seattle, we were on a plane to Old Victoria. From the airport, we went straight to our local hospital and got to do most things all over again. CT scans and rabies shots for everyone.
No strings attached.
On June 1st, I finally had my surgery, 2 weeks to the day after our crash. The next month went a little something like this. Hey Dad, can you come pass me my book? Also, let's not forget the day my dad had to bring me a lawn chair so I could lay down because I almost fainted on my way to the bathroom and I couldn't get down on the floor. On the plus side, I got to spend lots of time up at the lake, although I wasn't allowed in it. But there was one-legged dance party. And one-legged birthday picture taking. And soon enough, I was ready to at least get on the water.
Hello. And here we go. Get out of my life. Yeah! Oh my god, it's so comfy. Isn't it so comfy? Can you do this? Yay! Look at you guys! I know just can't hide it. Don't hit that foot. There we go.
After 2 months, I got to ditch the brace and start to weight bear, and a couple weeks after that, my scar was finally healed enough that I could go for a swim, and I took full advantage. It was also around this time that I started going to physiotherapy. This started as very basic movements to increase the range of motion in my knee, but very quickly moved to infinite variations of squats. Therefore, my recovery looked a little something like this. Needle, squat, swim, repeat. Needle, squat, swim, repeat. Needle, squat, swim, repeat. Needle, squat, swim, repeat, etc., etc. You catch my drift.
Walking to school. Or first time, no crutch.
In mid-September, after ditching the final crutch, I gained a huge chunk of freedom by getting back behind the wheel.
Okay, here we go.
Rianne's first driving attempt with
Oh, you lifted up, okay.
the leg. Do you remember how?
I mean, questionable. It's been a long time. Ooh, those
Yeah.
are sensitive.
The brakes are super sensitive.
Yeah, wow, okay, that's aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay,
We go down so fast. It burns. It's bright.
I'm not gonna kill us.
Okay, well, yeah, let's see what happens when you do your first stop on those brakes. I've got my seatbelt on. I'm ready.
That's good. You might. It's really aggressive. Okay, Mr. Biker. Hello.
Whoa, get going if you're going.
It's the gas is not sensitive.
The gas.
I'm so used to the car like.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it.
Okay. We're still alive. Signing off. This could be the last.
Fast forward to December, and look at me in those stilettos. Look at that squat, and in the snow, no less. The final major hurdle for me was sports, specifically gymnastics. I had told my doctors and physios all along that this was a sport I wanted to get back to. They were always conservative with their answers, but lo and behold, on March 6th, 2018, I went to the gym with my sister and gave it a go.
I can jump on a trampoline with one leg and your back.
Obviously, I started with the squishy stuff, but after a few weeks, I was back. That was my last big victory, but I'm always improving, and life keeps moving forward. Here's me walking in 5-inch heels to accept my bachelor's degree, and you can't even tell that just a year before I was lying incapacitated in bed. And here's me just last month goofing off after a bouldering session. So as you can see, Mr. Tree Branch, things have turned out pretty great for me. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still room for improvement, and she creaks and cracks all over the place.
Can you hear that?
But I gotta say, I feel pretty lucky to be where I am. I hope you ended up back on some fertile dirt and are happily decomposing in pie. Sincerely, Rianne.